That was a weird episode. So, folks, still no suggestions from you. I'm very angry. So it's up to us to decide.
I have a topic already.
Oh,
because I'm prepared and not a non-person like you. Yes, you're a non-person.
I'm very hateful. But despite my hate, please continue.
So I hope Eric, if you watch this, I would be very happy if you give me a hint in the live chat. But I finally commented your comments in the private forum. And I want to clarify why I have a specific view on your suggestions. So for the people that are not identical with Eric, you don't know what he wrote. So I will summarize it. It was most of the suggestions for our software we program, also known as Christian Programs, and I get on his nerves for some cool features. Most of the suggestions were features of automatization, like automated suggestions for links, automated suggestions for tags or something like that. And Christian and I discussed, where are you going?
Ciao.
Where are you going? Christian and I discussed the features, and mostly Christian came to the conclusion that the problem with automatization is that you transfer the intelligence from you to the software, and I think that's one of the big obstacles in doing digital knowledge work, because you try to transfer most or a good chunk of your competency of your skills to the or your skillfulness to the software. So this is one reason why I decided to use a plain text approach. Not the reason why I use it, but the reason why I maintain the plain text approach is because it forces me to be the active part, to be the skillful part, and not to rely so much on the software. Because most of the knowledge work is done, in my experience for now, when you are forced to just handle with text and handle with pictures, if you are more of a visual type. I draw a lot of pictures for my own archive, and for your information, I just hold it in the webcam, make a snap from it, and then include it in the note, and then I comment on it. That's my approach. It's just simple. I have no fancy method for drawing. I just make it on paper with a shit form I use, and then that's it. For example, if you have automated suggestions for tags, now you are able to put the thoughts away. Don't be thoughtful about the tags, and just follow the suggestions of the app. And one could say, okay, but I can do both. I can just take the suggestion that fits to me and be still thoughtful. But the problem is, in the long run, you always have to have in mind that you will be tired, that you will work when your concentration is not that high. So you are likely to make mistakes. It's kind of a willpower problem, which you can have in the morning. So when you're in the morning tired and don't make smart decisions, the whole day could fall apart because you have a bad run and go on the slippery slope road. So I built an environment for myself, and we will do it with the software in a manner that forces you to make good decisions, and that means, of course, that you have to make decisions and not transfer the decision making to the app. However, the app should have the job to make actions a bit easier, to the extent that it's just a bit more, as it's more handy and more pleasing to the eye, also to work with it. Because if you rely too heavy on tricks, like for example two automated steps, or too many steps in one action, so one click does like 10 actions at a time, then you will develop several techniques, several habits on that, and you will not able to transfer it to other software. And that's one of our principles, to be software agnostic with our approach. So even though we will create our own software, we don't want to box you guys in, so you have no possibility to escape and decide to work with another software. And the other thing is, if you are not so dependent on the software, you tend to focus or have the perspective of what is really going on. You're writing text in text files. That's the real action, so to say. And if you're not conscious of that, you lose a bit track, the ground under your feet, and you get too fancy. And that's one of the common mistakes one can make when one uses more, I wouldn't say more sophisticated software, but more what's the best word for that?
So you don't want to say sophisticated because it sounds like a bonus, and you want to say it's software that makes you stupid and is not really a benefit.
Yeah, it's not like...
Let me make our faces bigger so we see all the pain and anguish in our faces.
Ah.
Which one? Come on.
Oh la la. Oh, now your face is bigger and nobody wants to see it.
I can move even closer to the camera. If it's not I mean, the software itself is designed sophisticatedly because it can do a lot of artificial intelligence stuff, for example, or some clever things. But the end result is probably what you won't call sophisticated. The approach, the workflow, the process wouldn't be sophisticated.
Yeah, and I don't want to take any credit from the software developers, because most of them do a great job with including features and being good craftsmen. But I think the end result is not sophisticated. Like it's intelligent but not clever, so to say. So very intelligent solution. So much energy was put into it, but it was not clever. For example, I don't know if this is true, but I think I got this story from my father. He always told me that the NASA, the US, when they try to reach the moon or pretend to reach the moon, either way, it's a great display of intelligence, whatever is true. But they had the problem that in non-gravity circumstances, they couldn't write with normal pencils. It's pen or pencils? Pencils?
Pen.
With a pen.
That was the pointer.
Yeah, Pech. So they developed a pen that can write under zero gravity, but the Russians just use pencils. Yeah, that was the pointer. But
I hope you laughed the first time.
Yeah, but that's the whole the point I'm trying to make. We want to use pencils and not pens, and especially in circumstances of non-gravity, in like very complicated or unusual circumstances, we don't want to upgrade our technology, but being clever and have enough capacity for other things, like the Russians for drinking vodka or shooting up the poor Laika, which was the first dog in the space.
Poor dog. Anyway, I want to recommend this. It doesn't make sense to hide the publisher and stuff like that, even though it's a product placement, so to speak.
It isn't. We haven't paid.
Why not?
Because 6 people watch it.
Don't tell them how many there are.
Okay, it's not 6.
Great job. So, how... You're the only one for us. This book here...
I like group sex. You're not the only one.
This book here inspired me to get on Sasha's nerves earlier this week with all the basically everything I know about intellectual progress and progress in society, which counterbalances, I wanted to say, but that's not right, which eliminates the progress people can make internally. I'm not very well prepared to rephrase this in English.
General in life.
Yeah, I'm not well prepared in life in general either. But let's say it this way: when you do work that you care about, in the best case, then you develop as a person. So being a good craftsperson, for example, to use this trope, being a good craftsperson means that you grow as a person as a whole to get better at what you do, to become more knowledgeable, to become more adapted to the circumstances, and stuff like that. And everything that Western society did to us in the past 100 years or so was to remove this potential of growth and replace it with pre-canned solutions. So instead of everyone who's involved in a certain piece of work knows what he or she is doing, now the processes are centralized in the management hierarchy. There the knowledge is, then you can throw out all the experts, hire cheap workers and let them do what you say, you as a manager, what you tell them to do because you wrote this manual to plan the process. And what you lose is you lose the experts, the people that follow the process don't have a clue what they're doing if you're out of luck. And this is something that Matthew Crawford in Shop Class as Soulcraft, this is the book I was talking about, talks about in one central place. This brought to me a lot of thoughts about the application we're developing, because this being clever, if the application tells you, hey, this is a process we, the developers, designed in the application, so you, the user, can benefit from it, then you don't have to come up with your own processes. Then you don't have to be clever, wise, or intelligent to do the stuff that you want to do. You just have to follow the process. And automatic tagging would be even worse than automatic text suggestions. And relying on all this stuff will make you a worse knowledge worker. You will become like the people who do knowledge work and are hired to manipulate Word documents and Excel spreadsheets, and had to go to college for that kind of stupid, day job. So it's if we say that's kind of that is a discounting of the knowledge worker's work, doing Excel spreadsheets and stuff like that, then we, Sasha and I, want to make you, the user of our stuff, we want to put you back in charge, even in the places that you may not be in charge now, because the applications you use ruin your life and make you a worse person and make you unhappy, not because they're don't offer possibilities, but because they take away the responsibilities from you. I should have said the responsibilities from you. If the app does the judgment, then it doesn't need an intelligent user anymore, and we don't want to make you stupid.
Yeah, that's it's remind me of a concept I was lastly confronted with when I trained with use of parts. It's like, if you note, it's a student of Ido Portal, and many times or on several different occasions, he made it a point to not to explain, just show it and force us just to find out how it works, what are the steps for, and so on. And he told us the reason is because he don't want us, or he didn't want us to lose our teeth to chew on. That's a thing Ido Portal himself says. If you always eat soup, you will lose your teeth because you have nothing to chew on, nothing to really to grind your teeth in. And that is one of the that ties to what Christian says, and why I am before, that you want to have a very good environment for knowledge work, but an environment that gives you possibilities and not take possibilities from you and box you in a very streamlined process. So both Christian and I, and either the method and the software should give you possibilities, a very broad range of possibilities, and give you some best practices, especially in the beginning, and take you through a map of choices, but don't force you in something. That's a thing which is not. It was also misunderstood in the first version of the book in German, but also not put very well by myself, because I just showed the core principles, the core techniques, the kind of what do you have to do at least to qualify your knowledge work as Zettelkasten work. And it came up very dogmatic, because it was only the core with not much or next to nothing possibilities. Yeah, no.
Next to no.
Yeah, it was just the core and no possibilities around. So it was just the necessity, but not the possibility of the method, or the necessities to qualify for the method, but not the possibilities to go in, because I use a specific set of techniques which wouldn't apply to everybody, because I'm a very I would call systematic, very dry, very analytical thinker. But another person who's more works more with associations, more like branching, more like scattered, not in a negative way, but more scattered mind that is all over the place. Then you would use another set of techniques or another combination of steps. And that was not very put in well, but now I say it, and I'm now having a hard time to rewrite the book, so I'm telling you what I will do and hope to do, and what the software will be all about. Christian doesn't like when I finish without the pointer.
Or without the last half of a sentence, yeah.
Which is the pointer, technically. As I'm always
something just came to mind when I listened to you talk about software, which I didn't tell you. So this is an authentic response. You will see.
I'm angry right now.
Yesterday I just heard that the people of Ulysses were ripped off.
Naked?
No, not this kind of ripping off. More like the Ulysses writing application was ripped off by some, funny because your Turbo Pascal self-proclaimed Turbo Pascal expert.
Pascal is the language, so I'm more technically Pascal expert, and Turbo Pascal is the compiler. But you see, I'm the expert. It's not your fault.
Obviously, you're the expert. Funnily enough, the Windows clone for Ulysses was written in Delphi, which is like Pascal with user interface elements to click on. Which is really sad news because they just took everything from the Soulmen, the developers of Ulysses, like the logo, the user interface design, everything, even the most of the copy on their website, which I will not put anywhere in the links or something. So this is a bad situation for them. And if you happen to know a good copyright lawyer, they're very, very happy for suggestions. Just shoot us an email. And
somebody stole from them.
Yeah, and then recoded an application in the same vein to to be a page replacement, so to speak. They didn't really steal 100% of the logo, for example. They just Ulysses' logo is a butterfly with a pen sticking out in the middle instead of the
pencil.
No, it's a fountain pen. I hope it's a fountain pen. I think it's a fountain pen with butterfly wings, and the same kind of icon was used in this ripoff too. Not the exact same image, but everything else is it's a total ripoff. It's the name, the everything.
It's also called Ulysses.
Yes, which is a really
plain
scam.
Illegal in every country, perhaps in some African warlord reign countries.
Yeah, obviously. It's a very let's say the ground they are developing their business on, which is ripping off Ulysses, isn't very solid, and probably will not pay off once the lawyers have been found and activated. But it's really weird news. And so the thing that brought this to mind was, Ulysses is a very elaborate writing environment, and if you steal 100% of the user interface design and the look and feel and the user experience and all the famous export options and stuff like that, if you steal everything, then basically Ulysses' selling point is taken away too, which is very painful. But if you, for example, say, I'm writing, I want to make money, and now I write a notepad application, the Windows notepad application, which displays text files and where you can't even increase the font size. The old notepad, obviously. I don't know about the new Windows 10 thing. So if you do a rip-off of Notepad and sell it on the internet, nobody cares, because it's just a plain text editor for plain text files. It's pretty, it's a pretty stupid business model to rely on this solely, and so I think that for us as developers and for other developers too who want to contribute to the knowledge working ecosystem, it doesn't pay off to be too clever on the user facing side, but to have a maybe clever approach to enable people to do things with simple tools. If you have a folder with plain text files, you can use literally any application to modify the contents. And truth being told, Ulysses can handle these files too. A folder with text files, you can import them and then edit the folder, if I recall correctly.
Also you don't even have to import them. You can have external folders just shown off.
Okay, so it can manage a folder like that too. So it's Ulysses would be if you like Ulysses' user interface.
Use it. Okay, Ulysses is perhaps a bad example, but I didn't try it. But I think with a couple of thousand text files, it would be too much in external folder, I think.
To have them open or visible at the same time all the time. I mean, it could be too laggy, too slow.
Yeah, because in the external folders,
I tried this some months ago, and it didn't work out very well.
Yeah, I know. I have my. I think I have a folder in there with 103,000 words. So that would be, on average, if you are averaging 100 words per note, 1,000 notes in the archive, and it's not super fast. It has to be. It needs some loading before you can work with it. So it's not. I don't think it would be suitable for this amount of files in one folder.
But then again, Ulysses is a writing application for writing projects.
It's not meant for that.
Yeah. So you could still plug it into your existing process. And
for your information, I'm a Ulysses user.
Addicted?
No. Yes, heroin addicted, but not to Ulysses. I'm free on the software side. Software agnostic, so to say.
Oh, excellent. That's just what we want to sell all the people for free. Be software agnostic. It's the best thing you can do. And I would say Ulysses is a very beautiful writing environment. And if you steal all the beauty and all the environment and put it into a clone and sell it for money, that's
I have a question. What's the point?
The point is this: that developing applications that are easy to replace can possibly make your business less fragile. Your business model less fragile.
Okay, the point you're making is towards the business sides and the software side, not towards the interest of our viewers.
Au contraire. The interest of our viewers is in having...
Did you try to kiss me?
No. Except if you want to. But the interest of our users is the following. If you pick, let's say, an application like Evernote, and if Evernote goes out of business, you're screwed. That's it, period. The server is gone, your data may be gone if you don't have a local copy. That's not a wise decision to make. So even though it may sound, this stuff Sasha and I talked about in the beginning, even though it may sound like this stuff results in a very stupid, dumb, and not very interesting application that we develop.
It doesn't sound like that. I think it sounds like a beautiful, very sophisticated app that you are trying to destroy with your...
Negativity?
No, with your coding abilities.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the only coding abilities that we have combined. No,
yeah,
I'm the Turbo Pascal expert.
we have this beautiful idea of the Zettelkasten software that is developed in the most beautiful minds we have.
And you say, I'm pulling it through the mud, punching it with my
raping it, face fucking it.
Which face?
Oh, I think now we have too much.
Maybe we're attracting the wrong kind of people if this becomes a swear channel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I summarized the point Christian tried to make, but didn't. The thing is, you have to keep your freedom from software, and this is what I learned the lesson. Not the hard way, I would say the medium soft way, because I changed my approach.
Medium soft way?
Yeah. It was not really the medium way. It was medium soft way. I could
not to the soft side.
Yes. Because I switched early to a plain text approach. So, for example, now I have a to-do app. This is a task paper, which is on the basis of text files. Now I will switch. I want to have my to-dos just in Markdown, but now I'm able to just convert it and basically open the same files in TextMate. This is the main app I use for text files, besides NVAlt yet and Ulysses. And there's no friction, no nothing. And this is because I decided not to be to have the okay. It has a beautiful or a nice looking interface, but not to have a very technical solution which takes or, for example, like most of the Getting Things Done apps, which have very different panes and very different, a very sophisticated user interface, and that and rely on proprietary styling file format, yeah. And because I decided on that, now I have no pain at all. And if Markdown is not the way I want to use it, I can switch back and forth, or use any other application that use plain text to handle my stuff. And this is a great deal of freedom that we don't want to take away from you as a user. And even if you don't use NVAlt, if you won't use the Zettelkasten app, we will code, or we will develop. Even though it is only possible if you are a Windows user, because if you're a Mac user, you should use our super duper app, of course. If you have some ethics in your life, at least. But even if you don't use them at all, you have, with the plain text approach, all the possibilities to use Sublime Text or use... okay, you shouldn't use Atom because it just deletes files randomly, as I heard, but with no possibility of rejuvenating, what?
That's a word, but I don't know what you want to say.
Wiederherstellen.
Oh.
Recovering. With no recovery ability to, or possibility to recover the files. But Sublime Text, TextMate. There are many...
Notepad++.
Yes, Notepad++, my ex text editor on Windows. But there are many text editors that are very powerful for manipulating text. And if you have text, and that will be a thing I will work into, I will develop. When I have a bit more free time than now, I will develop some Ruby scripts to have nice plain text features. For example, to take a couple of metrics in your Zettelkasten or in your archive, and be a bit more, I wouldn't say sophisticated, but have a couple of tools that you can take for discovering like heavy interlaces of the network, or heavy have some metrics and work with them. And because they are in Ruby, they work on every platform. Yes, they work on every platform. And so you're not boxed in. The text files even don't box you in the operating system. So if you have Windows, or you're operating on Windows.
In theory, yes. I mean, in practice, character encoding is still a problem in 2017. So if you switch operating systems, you will lose line endings magically. This is very
okay. Some friction is
stupid,
there,
yeah.
but not to me. It was a problem because I didn't use UTF-8.
The umlauts were disappearing. Yeah.
But okay, there's the least amount of friction you can imagine. So the operating system doesn't box you in. You can use most of the if someone use scripts for text files, and I hope the text file community, if you can frame some community out of this approach, if they develop something, you have a very powerful community behind you, and that's one of our side projects, so to say, to develop the plain text approach, not only with knowledge working but also with writing and generally knowledge work in or work on the computer. So you can have a very strong community that can work together and improve on that. That's a thing I'm a bit sad about in the world in general and in the
Stupid word.
internet and the knowledge work approach. You don't have something like one should hope that science is working on, like standing on the shoulders of giants. So you don't have any growth building upon the base. Yeah, dwarfs standing on shoulders of the giants. I think it's in English too.
So you say it's that they're replacing most of the stuff and throwing it out again instead of adding another layer.
Yes, there's no increase in complexity, and you see it in the writing apps. You had the kind of Microsoft Word approach. It bloated up like crazy, and then you had mostly on Mac, I think, the other branch that went minimal or super minimal. I'm right back.
Ach, that's a telephoner.
Yes, but
the pain. It doesn't subside. Okay, so it's well, Sasha is telephoning his.
Don't telephone.
He's back again.
Have time.
I'm sorry, he's coming back.
But at least my butt
got sitting on one cheek all the time because my stupid.
Nobody's interested in your lack of butt.
Where was I? Yeah,
right. Not on your butt.
Right room for Mac was probably the first distraction-free writing environment.
Yes, I will continue with my monologue. So, and then I think we have two big players on the epitome of the, I would say, more sophisticated writing environments that are Scrivener and Ulysses, and they try to give a writer more powerful tools, and Ulysses also tries to lean more on the minimal approach. I think Ulysses is not quite that minimal. I think it uses still RTF and not plain text, but you see it. It's like it's not very driven by community. It's like very scattered, very many indie parties, which is. It can be an opportunity and can be a good thing, but I think there's no basis, no user basis. Most of the people just care if something works. They mostly care for them, and I think community building could be a very good step. To accelerate the development of sophisticated work with a computer on a plain text approach.
I think in the past episodes we never told anybody about our secret plans for life in general. Yeah, which makes sense. But the not so secret parts about our love-hate relationship with one another, which is mostly hate from my side, is that we
and tough love from my side.
Even that didn't play out in my favor. I'm still practicing. Sorry, maybe.
I'm an expert on being mean. Christian is not.
No, I'm just too kind. So if you want anything support-wise, please don't email him if you care for your sanity. What I was going to say was that our ultimate goal is once everything else we do in life, like the writing we do and on my side, application development and stuff like that. If once the money isn't an issue anymore in our lives, then we will care even less about making money from our software. Which means that even though we develop the Zettelkasten software, archive software right now, we want to make ourselves, as Sasha said, we don't want to box anybody in, which also means that we want to be replaceable, which is kind of a weird business decision for most people, I think. So what does it mean if we as a business in the end, or businesses, each one of us is independent from one another at the moment, if we as business owners or businesses don't care about profit, what do we care about instead? And what kind of software will we develop? And will I develop and you
force you to develop features?
Yeah, kind of like that. You get the picture, I think. What kind of stuff will we develop if money isn't an issue anymore? We can go even more niche than we are going now. We can, maybe spend years adding tools or Ruby scripts if you pick up Ruby sometime in the future for this plain text stuff, even though it doesn't pay off because the cognitive surplus is there to do this kind of stuff. I hope you're not going to sit in this comfy chair, leaving me in this
no, but
piece of wood.
You're talking too voraussetzungsreich.
That's good.
They don't know what cognitive surplus is meant because it's a whole book you're referring to with
which
one
is
word.
Called cognitive surplus, if you're interested. Which boils down to, if you've got a lot of free time, don't spend it in front of the TV. Spend it to make other people's lives better. For example, by developing Ruby scripts and contribute to the plain text community. The point is that I wanted to talk out of the Nähkästchen about our
talk out of the naked. Because what's it in English?
Sewing kit isn't part of anything.
Just gossip a bit.
No, gossiping is too negatively.
I mean it that way.
Thing. I don't know what to say to that. I will just ignore the last part and continue with what I said before, which is I wanted to talk about our long-term plans, and not just, hey, we're developing this application, please buy it, it comes out soon, this is all excitement building and stuff like this. That's not the kind of business we do. We'll do and
a very non-exciting business.
Dry and boring.
No, I think what Christian tried to say, I think, is that we want to give you a bit of an insight in our plans that we are not about maximum profit. It's not like it goes into boring stuff like pricing models and so on and so forth. But it's kind of our decision of what to do with our lives. It's not like we just do a thing like building a business because a business is just a mean to an end. It's not also like just building an app because an app is so cool or something. We both are interested in developing solutions. Christian's leaning more on the craftsman side of doing things. I'm leaning more on the, what can you say, scholarly and practicing.
All blah blah, no doing.
No, I'm a very doer.
Blah blah is kind of doing too, but
yeah, I'm kind of, Christian is more in the middle, like being a craftsman, and I'm like a slice of very, very theoretical things like philosophy and spiritually and theory constructing and something like that. And on the other side, like very, very blunt and just doing things. And so I think we have a good combination of approaches for a couple of things. And one project now is the Zettelkasten software, which tie into in something Christian calls gelehrt. Do you have an English name for the Gelehrtenmaschine?
Not yet. I'm open to suggestions. The literal translation would be scholar's machine, which is kind of boring in English. Scholar's device, the scholarly magic
Box.
or maybe what was Fließband? A conveyor belt.
Oh, the battery is draining like super fast. It went from 12% to 9%.
And I thought this hardwood we are sitting on would be the natural limitator
No.
of the talking.
I have very big, very soft, but very muscular bum, and you have...
I'm sitting on my bone.
Yes, you have a bone. So we are both equipped in a very different way, like in our business.
Yeah, but this time I suffer and you swing around.
I just have a big butt. It's rather I wrap my butt around it.
Why don't you show them? Wouldn't that be... Okay, please go.
Okay,
Next time.
back on the road. Where we are, we don't want money, we don't want anything in life.
We just want love.
Love.
Gelehrtenmaschine. Yes.
Gelehrtenmaschine,
Yeah, the
yes.
scholar's machine.
This will all tie to, let's call it a scholar machine for now. This ties into scholar's machine because Christian builds a scholar machine with all the ingredients you need, all the parts, all the tools you need to accelerate your knowledge work. And
Tools, plural form, not just one tool, but replaceable parts.
Yes, still or also software agnostic, not to box you in. And yeah, I'm one part of my work is to facilitate that. I'm more into the developing of the Zettelkasten software and perhaps in one other software, but all the others I'm facilitating my insights and so to say
Insults.
Insults, yeah. my reflection work with Christian. For this very big project, and that's all I have to say.
It's very big. The biggest thing you will ever see. It's so great.
It will be great. Christian is just incapable of joy.
That's my happy face.
But we have to finish because my laptop is dying right now and we don't have any.
Yeah, so if you the scholar's machine to sum it up is it's a black box composed of multiple tools I'm going to develop, so you as a scholar can start with information gathering and end up with publishing stuff. Doesn't matter much what kind of stuff you want to publish, but there's a lot of moving pieces in between. I want to create the whole thing and not just a writing application, which is further to the end, not just a reference management thing, which is more the input side. So if you happen to have a good name for this, which is not Scholar's Machine, but something cooler, I'm very happy for suggestions. I love you all. Please email me.
I don't love anybody. Please email him. Bye bye.